One. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second part of GPMS Philippines meeting. And today is February the 3rd. So, Monday, 3rd of February 2025. An exciting year for sure. We're going to remember it. I was also saying, sis, that it's going to be like, apparently there are some people moving also geographically now. So it was funny because I text you like to tell you that I was moving and you text me back saying, no, I'm moving. Also with some sisters. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that to say where you'll be going? So people, if they hear it and they know you'll be there, they can let know their relatives and friends.
Oh, yes. There's an echo. I, okay. Um,
Say it's not too
I've
bad.
been invited to have a meeting with the Palawan group. So hopefully the universe will allow.
Yes.
And as always, the universe provides.
Yes. So in Palawan, you'll be arriving on Sunday, more or less, next Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
And we're going via ship.
Exciting.
It's my first time.
Nice. And also, we guess that there's also people that, well, you told me that when Lee Madway was also in the Philippines, and also when I was, that there was an opportunity also of us meeting with some of these people, but because of some circumstances that didn't happen. So clearly now it's the moment to make it happen. And it's nice to see also people that they are kind of like coming back to GPMS because they heard about GPMS, but they were also kind of involved with other systems. But people are going to realize that when they follow any kind of plan or system that has a specific individual, let's say, or individuals that are like managing everything and controlling everything and asking for people mainly just for money for their own interests. Uh, no, people are going to realize that that's not the way. It's still for selfish needs, just to the greed of, again, power and money, the same things. And I heard the same people coming all the time with different kind of businesses so they can make money mainly. And they call themselves freedom fighters. So it's sometimes, and people now are going to see that it doesn't matter how they call themselves or what they are saying, because it's kind of like the same that happened with administrations and governments around the world. They just say what they know that people want to hear. But that is like, oh, they say they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Listen, but I don't care. Take a few minutes to just see what they're actually doing, and you see that they were never working for the benefit of most of the people. And the people actually were losing money, losing, well, faith now, and they were gaining the money and not doing like anything with it, just buying like themselves things and new cars and whatever, and trying to get themselves to other sides of the country to, and I'm gonna say it like this, to just con more people, because what they're preaching, it's a lie, it's fake. And we know that especially this year, our eyes gonna be open to a lot of what we thought was true, and now we see it's not true at all. It's a big fat lie. And as we always say, we will have to have the courage to just forgive ourselves and just go forward. Like, let the past go and move forward. So I love that some sisters also were coming, because also there are some personalities of these leaders that they, the same as administrations and governments that I was saying before, they control people by fear. They're always kind of like holding them, saying, if you don't do this, this is going to happen, and I'm going to personally do this and that. It's like, what? Suddenly the freedom fighters now are threatening brothers and sisters to get them to do what they want and a lot of time for free? I don't think so. So I personally, like in my opinion, I absolutely condemn that kind of behavior at this point. Like I would call it out and tell everybody, please don't talk to these people. Please don't get near. Because as soon as they get near, you're gonna start having like this kind of behavior thrown up to you, and you're gonna be in a place where you're gonna start feeling scared. And that's actually what we want to move out of. We don't want to move into those kind of like frequencies. So yeah, I love that a lot of sisters are getting like the courage to just get out of there and have their own voices, because we all have a
Yes.
voice. What do you think, sis?
And uh, what about Trump getting elected and the hope of the people worldwide? He, mm, they are looking up to him for the positive changes.
Hmm.
What can you say about that?
I would say like for once, I would say like I truly would wish that it would be that way and that they would just do all the positive changes and not some, as they sometimes do. For me, it's still the like someone is gonna save us kind of idea. And that doesn't work. And I've seen so many, because we can see it now in North America and with Trump and everything, because mainly most of the media would cover it. And most of the countries, if they turn on the TV, they're gonna like see and know about it. Not all the people are gonna have news, for example, from Argentina, but it's the same thing. And we have elections, I think, last year, and we were, the savior. This is it's even a prophecy. There's a prophecy that a gray man, they call it gray man, will get to power and change everything for good. And they say this is the gray man, and this is the man that is gonna take Argentina forward, and it's not happening. And it's a little bit embarrassing because we see like our president in Argentina, well, our president, the supposedly president of Argentina, that he's like a fan of Trump. He's like, Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump. And he's just like a puppet of all these people. He's giving a lot of power to a lot of people. I'm just gonna say it like that, but there's from Israel. I don't know. So a lot of land, a lot of like power businesses, corporations, and just monopolies of things that he calls free market. So he was more in this neoliberalistic, like we're gonna dynamite the state. And he did a few things that people say like, okay, but in the like in the basis, it's just the same that we've been seeing since ages and ages and ages. That they say a lot of things that they don't do. And then what they do, they will do some things that will get people to think that, okay, to give them kind of a little bit of hope. But I see it kind of saying like, oh, look, he just banned, for example, putting fluoride in the water across America. I was like, yeah, it should have been there in the first place. So it's like I shouldn't take it like as a plus. It's something that it's a no-brainer. Who put something toxic in the water? It's crazy. So we see it as a good thing, but we don't see like all of the things that also are going on, and they keep in place the same system that we know is causing harm, not only in that country, but in a global kind of way. So I see that there's a lot of things that he's been like doing. And for example, this getting away from the World Health Organization and looking more into the things that you put into people. But actually, if we look what happened in 2020, he was one of the ones that Operation Warp Speed was to get people to get it faster. And now, because you're with Robert Kennedy Jr., he's given the idea, but actually, he doesn't have the space that he was promised in his team. And the same with others that were promised and now they're not like following through. So I wouldn't put like hope and trust in anything outside of my own self and my brothers and sisters that show me that I can trust them because they're actually doing the work that we need to do. And we're transparent and we're honest and we're like putting the focus in keeping our own integrity and in knowing ourselves more and not having like healthy boundaries and understanding that do no harm is the main thing that we need to grasp the concept in all of its ways, not harming myself, not harming others, not harming things, not harming Mother Earth. Once you can manage your own energy to not do that, even when you hurt your own self by energizing doubts, by giving energy to what you then know are lies, but limiting yourself, those also are kind of harmful things. And that's what we need to get rid of. So, and I see that in these people, the morality is kind of shaky. It's kind of dodgy. You see, they may do something that would be considered good, but they don't do other things that we consider good and they still don't do it. I even saw recently in a video that an economist was talking about America and he was saying like actually the wages of American people, they were always having a rising wage and there was a little bit of inflation, but the wage was always like kind of like above the inflation. Now since 1970, there's no real raise of wages because the amount that they give you a little bit more money per month, it's the exact amount that you're gonna spend all the things that now are more expensive. And it's all like an illusion. You have more money in your hand, yeah, but you spend more too. So it's like, no, you cannot fool us that way now. You're not gaining more. And that's been happening in North America for the last 55 years. And in those years, Trump was the president and nothing happened. So no, I wouldn't put my any bet on anyone at the moment that will remain in the current system, but saying they were doing even if they say they're making fundamental changes, they're not. I would love it that he just went out and spoke about aliens and spoke about the disclosure about that they've been having contact with galactic races and what was going on and what happened to put all the truth out there, not just a tiny bit here and a tiny bit there. Tell us all about everything and unlock all the free technology, all the things, all the patents that we know that they already have. Why are they holding on to them? Healing modalities and quantum beds or whatever you want to call them. It's like they're hiding them. Why are you not giving it to all? And this separation with the immigration also. I think that's more like to get the American people to get a little bit in the illusion of let's make America great again. And the rest of the world, oh, well, they don't care. But we now know better. We know that we we only can do this together around the globe, all of us, not just America or some other country. So yeah, no.
So, sister, you have mentioned about the extraterrestrials and the first contact and the advanced technology that they are sharing with us here on Earth. Can you explain further so that everybody here in the room can have foresight of what we are about to be in the
Yeah.
very, very near, almost 5 or 10 years ahead?
Or even this year, sister, because I remember Rick also posted a message saying that by the eclipse that it's happening in March, I think there were some races already saying that that would be their landing date, and there were other people also saying kind of like the same thing. The only thing that these like beings from outer space, let's call it, they're not like landing here like now is because it's like the game has kind of some set of rules and it's all based on frequency. If we're just still entertaining a lot of like the fear kind of spectrum, they don't want to freak us out. They don't because from fifth dimension up, the do no harm, it's a given. You don't even think about causing harm of anything. There's not a possibility to no one thinking anything that cause harm. So they would not cause the slightest harm like ever. So if they can freak us out, they will wait until we can get ourselves together a little bit better. So it all depends on also the work that we and many around the world are doing to raise that frequency, to raise that collective consciousness so we can take it in a better way. Also, it's like we need to also to get to these understandings more like from mouth to mouth, and we all know it because there's another kind of rule that this human experience must be maintained. It cannot be like disrupted, and also they cannot just come in and like save us because as everything is energy, if we don't do the internal work and we don't rise our own frequency, they cannot do it for us. They wish, but they cannot. Even if they are our own selves in a higher dimension, you cannot make yourself to do something in this realm. You have to do it from here to get closer and closer to your higher self. So I see it that the first contact is kind of very, very near, also because there's been a lot of sightings around the world, and we know that they're getting like more and more and more. Maybe it's because also more people are looking at the skies and more people have cell phones, so they can catch it and share it. But I heard also that they were gonna start to come down in bigger, well, not come down, but appear in the skies with bigger ships. So the idea that some, because that's also like the narrative of the dark ones, that they were trying to say, oh, they're just drones. Oh, they're just no military technology. And I saw a lot of videos of military people just saying they're not drones. That is not our technology. They are another kind of technology, alien technology. And they say it. They say, and we know it, but they won't speak it. So to be it even more evident, they're gonna come with bigger things that you will have like no doubt that is actually something going on. But yeah, I think that mainly is that we need to get more fond of the idea because still there's people that doubt about the existence of beings from other dimensions or from outer space, let's say. So we need to get that in the
So,
collective a little bit more populated.
yes, so meaning it's really up to each one of us to raise our frequency where we can have a connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Yes,
not coming down, but we are going up to their level.
exactly. Yes, yes,
Okay. So it's also an ascension process, and we will meet them as we
yes.
ascend.
Yeah, and they are, it's like they are having between like a mixed kind of feelings of a celebration because they know that we will do it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it. We just don't know
Yes.
exactly like when and how. But the actual like the meeting and everything, it's gonna happen. So that's inevitable. So they're already kind of celebrating because we're getting like really near to that. And at the same time, I heard a lot of channelings of saying they just want us to try to raise the frequency more because they're very eager to communicate. They want to communicate. I actually they try, but if we're in another frequency, like in a radio station, we're another radio station, we're not gonna hear. But so also now more and more you're gonna start like hearing things, so having some insights, so having like some information coming down that you kind of don't know where it's coming from. And even like hearing, like audible kind of things. And having more synchronicities. These are all things that show us that we're on the right path. And we know that at this point in time, most of us like light workers, let's say, and the ones that we already like embodied, kind of like we came here with a job, not just to have a human experience, but we are doing this actively. There's nothing that can take us out of the path now. We can be extremely tired and we can have still a little bit of some thoughts that try to bring us down or something, but we will continue because we know that's what we came here to do. And I think this is a year that we're going to see a lot of like what we've been working on. Now we're going to see in the outside, like the results at the global level. That's going to give all of us a little bit like more strength to say, yeah, okay, it's happening. Let's do it and just put the, it's like it's been a marathon. And now we're getting like to that moment where maybe we have to do like a little bit of sprint at the end that we think that we have no energy, but then you get the energy from, well, from the universe that we truly are from our hearts. And we just, boom, go forward because we're actually the ones doing it. Of course, with lovely Mother Gaia and the Father Cosmos, they're helping a lot, but we're like the main kind of force on the ground. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of change.
Uh, mhm. And also in an update of Brother Rick, he had said that we have turned on the lights. We can now rest and relax.
Yeah, yeah. Because remember, this journey is also kind of like it goes a little bit like this, then like this, then like this, then like this. It's like the floor, it's also the floor and the ceiling of the wave. It's always raising. But we still have these little dips that the more that you're conscious and the more you do the inner work, the less you dip. So you don't dip that deep, you just go a little bit. And he just put that post after the new moon in Aquarius that it coincide on the 29th of January with the year of the Chinese year, New Year. There is a year of the wooden serpent also that is inviting us to shed more and more of what no longer serves and embody our higher wisdom. It was like so powerful that new moon and everything that those 2 days, 29, 30 of January, there was a kind of energy going on. And we felt it like very definitely because it was like instead of responding like, ah, yeah, I'm fine. It's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's like the tone got a little bit like more volume and you were like, what? Ah, no, it's okay. We were a little bit like the energy was inviting you to get a little bit more, you know, like in the warrior mode, kind of a little bit, like more resistance to some things. And then when I saw Rick message, he just put it, I think, on Friday 31st and it we definitely felt it. On Friday we woke up and it was like, "Hi, good morning." Everything was much like, "Okay." apparently a little storm inside was going on, and now it's better. The clouds are gone. We feel a little bit better. And then I saw Rick's post, and I was definitely, brother, definitely, yeah, we truly felt it. So we're still gonna have those kind of like, but it's good that he focused on the good part. That is like when we, okay, now we can rest a little bit. We can like restore our energies a little bit. Because if not, it was a little bit, I would say, of a little bit of a defensive energy. A little bit. And then you can lower the guard kind of things, like saying, remember everything is okay. That's another thing a lot of people are starting to realize more now. You just realize it, realize it, like see it with real eyes, what's really happening, like behind the scenes. And what about every moment, as we say, the universe will provide every moment that we live. It's perfect. When you're like in a higher frequency, you can see it more easily, understand it, and say, yes, of course, everything is perfect all the time. When you're a little bit on the lower, you say, no, because I don't like this, I don't like that. You focus on what you don't have, you focus on what's not right, instead of focusing in what is, and focusing that everything just flows, and you flow with the flow. You get where you're gonna get and meet who you're gonna meet, and everything goes great. Because we experience it so much, in our travels. Everything aligns. It's mind blowing. Everything goes like, I wouldn't say even like more than perfect. Sometimes I have that discussion with Lee, because he says, well, perfect is perfect. But with my Latin kind of roots, I still like to say it's more than perfect, because you cannot even imagine it. And then you meet some lovely people, and they invite you to go here and there, and you meet other wonderful people. It's expansive. It's all the time you feel you're expanded all the time. It's wonderful. And you feel energy, because we didn't sleep much also in our travels.
Mhm. And everyone that we met, we simply felt their love.
Yes.
That's why they are giving us what they have, sharing with us what they can.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So it's the love energy,
Yeah.
and it's really really amazing. And I'm excited that every one of us will soon experience those kinds of unconditional love.
Yes, yes. And without that, without, the resistance of thinking some low vibration things, it's like, no, everything's perfect. Why you do want this? Have it. No, it makes me happier for you to have it, and it makes you happy, and everything is like, again, you feel like everything is expanding, and everything it's great, and it's free flowing, and there's nothing like we've experienced, an experience that it's like we were rowing against the current in a muddy kind of river. It was, what are we doing that? And when you learn how to go a little bit more with the flow, you want everybody to learn that, because it's like you want to say to everybody, like, no, no, once you get it, it's truly easy. And then everything just happens like for you. That actually
Yes.
we know, and Brother Lee said it so many times, everything that happens in your surrounding is for you, by you, because we're the creators. Only that in the past we didn't actually believe that we were creating with our thoughts, with what we were vibrating, what you were giving energy, where that energy was coming from. It was coming from your own fears, it was coming from love. And as you say, we're moving to a new dimension that we will just work from the high heart up. We'll no longer experience the vibrations of the lower chakras kind of thing. So it's like everybody you meet when you're in the journey of free flowing, they're already functioning at this level. So it's like everything you need, it just comes. It's like you become a little bit more like magnetic. You stay a
Mm.
lot more still and things just come to you. Sometimes you need to move like geographically, like going from here to here, but then when you get there, everything just appears for you.
Yes. Mm.
It's awesome.
Going with the flow, meeting the challenges only makes you appreciate that you are loved because every challenges has the solution.
Mm,
So with
yeah,
every solution, you feel the energy of love that you are being watched and taken care of by the whole universe.
yeah,
That's how I feel
yeah.
actually.
And there's no more problems because the moment that you raise, and I prefer not to call the situations problems, but just situations, when a situation arises, the solution arrives like immediately. It's
Yes.
immediate. You just say, oh, I just wish I could, I don't know, go to the upper state then tomorrow. And someone says, I got a car, I pay the fuel. Okay. And I take treats and meals. It's like, you don't even have like the time to worry about the problem because it's already solved. It's
Mhm.
wonderful. And that's the reality that we're bringing for everyone. So no more stress,
Yes.
no more worries, no more problems, only
We just
solutions,
have to
sharing.
learn. We just have to learn how to go with the flow.
So get
And it's
ourselves out of the way.
ascending.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going up.
Yes, definitely.
So just chill. We love you.
Yes.
And Maraming salamat for attending and for watching.
Mm-mm. And congratulations to everyone here. You are here for a reason. It's because you have to hear the truth that who you are is great and divine.